Process descriptions are similar to mechanism descriptions in organizational structure, but they differ in content. Whereas mechanism descriptions detail the physical attributes of a mechanism, process descriptions describe either the steps in the operation of a mechanism or the steps of a conceptual process. In this video lecture, I will tell you how to describe a mechanism in operation. Here is a model for a general description of a process. Begin by introducing the mechanism with a logical definition, then add extensions to provide any needed theory or principles. Make sure you include only what the reader needs for the purpose. Next, describe the purpose, function, and operation of this mechanism. Finally, list the major steps of the mechanism's operation in the order that they will be discussed. Let's consider the following example: description of the process of the operation of an air conditioning system. The audience for this description is a general technical reader who does not have specific expertise in air conditioning, fluid mechanisms, or thermodynamics. Begin by introducing the mechanism with a logical definition, then add extensions to provide any needed theory or principles.
An air conditioner is a mechanical device used to refrigerate a controlled environment. The air conditioner accomplishes this refrigeration by transferring heat within the environment to an area outside the environment.
Next, describe the function and operation of the mechanism.
The air conditioner transfers heat by using a fluid refrigerant. This refrigerant is pumped through both controlled environments and the outside area. At the same time, the refrigerant is cycled at strategic points between liquid and vaporous states. This change in the state provides the means for transferring thermal energy.
You may want to list the primary operational parts of the mechanism, especially if they relate directly to the process steps. In any case, be sure to list the major steps of the mechanism's operation in the order in which they will be described. Choosing this order may not be easy. Ideally, the steps will follow a logical timeline from the start to the finish of the process. However, in some cases, such as transactional, iterative, or branching processes, that may not be possible. In such cases, you will have to describe the process steps in the way that is the clearest to a reader and the purpose at hand.
The air conditioner's operation is centered on the major components: the compressor, condenser coil, expansion valve, and evaporator coil. The operation of the air conditioner relates directly to these parts and includes the following steps: compression, condensation, expansion, and evaporation.
Treat such steps as a separate subsection. Define each step of the process, then extend these definitions as necessary to address to the equipment, material, or concepts involved. Be sure to tell your reader clearly what happens in each step and provide linking transitions between the steps. Compression. Discuss compression in reasonable depth for the audience and purpose at hand. First, define compression and then deal with the equipment and concepts involved. Describe what happens during the compression and then show the relationship with the next step, condensation.
Compression is a fluid dynamics process in which a given volume of refrigerant vapor is forced to occupy a smaller volume of space. Compression occurs when the compression forces hot refrigerant vapor under pressure into the compression chamber. The chamber is composed of a cylinder and valve arrangement. The pistol draws refrigerant into the cylinder through an intake valve, and the intake valve closes and the pistol pushes up into the cylinder, compressing the refrigerant vapor. The vapor then exits through an exhaust valve and enters the condenser coil, where the condensation step occurs.
Then you need to describe condensation, expansion, and evaporation in much the same way as we dealt with compression. The last part of the process description briefly summarizes the process and provides a sense of finality to the paper.
The operation of an air conditioner involves 4 steps. First, the compressor pumps refrigerant under pressure into the condenser coil. Here it is liquefied, giving up heat that is removed by a fan circulating air over the condenser coil. The liquid refrigerant moves through a closed loop, through an expansion valve, and into the low-pressure evaporator coil. Here the refrigerant changes into vapor, absorbing heat from air passing over the evaporator coil. This air then cools the control environment while the refrigerant is drawn back into the compressor. At this point, the cylinder is complete and the process repeats.